Hello, children. Well done, well done, well done. I've received your scripts. I've marked them, and I want to say congratulations to you all. The responses I got to the questions show to me that you have been undoubtedly impacted positively in the course of this mentorship. I congratulate you all. Now, I want you to know that the scores you are getting is relative to your age. For the younger children, I was a bit more lenient with their marking, while I was a tad more firm with marking for the older children and the teenagers. For example, marking a 6-year-old's script of answers, I tampered it with a bit of more mercy than I did with the older children, if you know what I mean. And also, I'm sure you were able to see that there are two parts to the questions I gave to you this month, and the theory part and the objective part. I intentionally made you write stories in the theoretical part because I really wanted to have a realistic idea about your line of thought. I want to know how you reason. That was why I asked you to construct your own stories. And in the course of marking your script, I realized that two amongst you would need a more intimate counseling. In the course of reading the first boy's story, I realized that his story was a little too criminal for my liking. He was mentioning guns, strangulating, bullets in the stories. So I realized that this holiday, I've called the mom. I would like to take him specially, to reorientate him, to really change his mindset. I would want to know who his closest friends are in school, the kind of environment they live in, and the kind of teenagers he relates with around the home area. So for the other girl who is also a teenager, in the course of going through our theory where I asked you people to write stories, the things she wrote calls for a deeper and confidential counseling. She was mentioning some things she was not yet supposed to mention in her story. So the mentorship I do is strategic, is Holy Spirit led, and I thank God that this month's mental exercise gave me a realistic result of what I actually wanted to know about you children. Okay, so question number 1. When you see your parents' phone on the table, what do you do? Some of you said, I will on the hotspot. Some of you said, I will play games with the phone, then I will go and give to her. No. The boys who wrote hotspot, they are siblings, and they joined the mentorship program only 2 weeks ago. So it's not their fault. They have not really had the taste of Auntie Taye Lulu. I'm sure that by next month, when we'll be having our mental exercise, they will do better. And another person said, I will play game with the phone, then I will go and return to my mom when I'm done. No. There are two answers to this question. Is either you don't touch it at all, or you pick it and you go give it to your parents without opening it. You have no business opening your parents' phones. And even if as a secondary school student, there's something you need to check on Google that has to do with your homework, you go straight to Google or Chrome, you answer your question, and you return the phone. Don't go to your parents' gallery. Don't go to YouTube. Don't go to Facebook. That is how to be disciplined. Okay? Number 2, when your friends are bad, what happens to you? You become bad. They influence you negatively and you become bad. Somebody said nothing. I think that was Festus. Yes, he said nothing. Festus, I know that you stay in London, you don't stay in Nigeria, so probably your environment makes you think that if you have bad friends, nothing will happen to you. Dear son, when you have bad friends, they will influence you and turn you to become bad. Their influence on you will be negative, and this will make you to become bad. Okay, so don't even dare have bad friends. Do not have bad friends. They will influence you and make you to become a bad person. Okay, well done, Festus and others. Number 3, you ask, okay, when you see adults watching a movie, what do you do? If you remember, for those of you that have been in my mentorship for a while, you will realize that I told you emphatically that whenever you walked into a place and you see adults watching a movie, you don't just sit down there and join them. You ask them politely, am I permitted to watch this movie with you? Is this a movie I can watch? And if they say yes, you sit in and join them. But if they say no, you say okay and you go inside and do something better with yourself. You either read a book or you look around the house and look for what you can help your parents with. Probably you'll arrange their bedroom, or you go to the kitchen, do the dishes, or you just do something better. Okay, don't feel offended when you are asked not to join adults to watch a movie. Okay. Number 4, when I say you are an ambassador of Christ and your parents, what does it mean? It means that everything you do, you are representing Jesus Christ and you are representing your parents. That is what that means. Number 5, what do I mean by intimacy with God? It means closeness with God. It means praying. It means studying the Bible. It means having the fear of God. If you have written any of this, then you got your score correctly, okay? Number 6. What was number 6? Oh, I forgot to write that here. If you check for number 6, the answer is yes. Number 7 is yes. Number 8 is yes. Those ones are either yes or no. Number 6 to 10. So number 6 to 10 is yes. 6 is yes. 7 is yes. 8 is yes. 9 is yes. And 10 is yes. Okay. So the theoretical part. How can a good child become bad by having bad friends? Cite a story. And it was in the part of that story I really got to know your trend of thought, how you reason, how every one of you think. And that was exactly what I wanted to gauge. I wanted to know. And you presented me with that. Well done. Okay. Some of you didn't get your full score there because you just said a good child can become bad when he has bad friends. No, I said cite me an example. I wanted you to be more constructive. I wanted you to be more practical, to use your brain. Okay, there was a boy named Femi. He was brought up well. He was a good boy. He got to school and got mixed up with bad people and became their friends, and he began to steal, something he did not used to do before. He began to tell lies. He became a lazy boy. Okay, I was expecting most of you to be more specific. Okay, so that was why you missed some of the mark there, because that number 1 A and B is 10 marks, which makes number 1 20 marks. Your objectives were 10 questions, 50 marks, 5 for each. Then number 2, voice check. Voice check, 90% of you missed that question, and probably because the voice check class that I recently did, there was not much attendance. I think it was a tackling class. It was a Wednesday class. It was not a weekend class. So probably I will fix it for a weekend, maybe this month or January, so that we can take it extensively as a weekend discussion. I think it was just a Wednesday tackling class. That was why many of you could not attend and you did not know how best to tackle that question. Okay, so voice check means you are trying to know in your mind what was steering you to take an action. Probably you want to do something and you are trying to check if what you are doing, if what you feel like doing is being steered by the voice of the Holy Spirit, because I told you that God speaks to you through the voice of the Holy Spirit. Okay, or you want to know if it is the voice of Satan, or you want to know if it is the thoughts in your head. Because sometimes it is the thought of your head steering you, it is not God. Okay, and sometimes it is not Satan, it is what you are thinking about. So voice check means a person trying to know what is steering them to take a line of action. That is voice check. I think only 2 people got that right, and I think those 2 people got it right. They attended the Wednesday tackling class where I discussed it with them. Number 2B, how do you know if it is the voice of God or Satan speaking to you? When God speaks to you, it is in a still small voice. It is in a subtle and nudging voice. When Satan speaks to you, it is much more compelling. It is like it's forceful. Okay, also when it is God speaking to you through the Holy Spirit in your mind, it will usually be to do the right thing, to do good things. But when it is Satan, it is usually for you to do something bad, for you to do something terrible. Okay, so I think that is it. Okay. Number 3, what is obedience and honor? Obedience and honor means you are following instructions, you are doing what you are asked to do by your parents, by teachers, by elders, and by God. What is honor? Honor means to show respect, to show regard. Okay, 3B, why should we honor? Why should we show honor as kids? You should show honor. Okay, who should we show honor to as kids? You show honor to God, your parents, your teachers, and elders. Number 3C, what are the 3 ways to show honor and obedience? You greet your parents and elders respectfully. Number 2, you do whatever it is they ask you to do without complaining or frowning. You okay? Number 3, you don't argue when adults speak. Okay, you don't argue, you don't interrupt them. You wait for them to finish before you speak. Okay, so that is the correction. The winner for this weekend will be announced later, and the winner would have free participation to my 3 weeks special morality class for boarding house students. I'm having a special boarding program for a special online program for students returning from boarding school. It's starting December 13th and is ending January 3rd. So the winner for this weekend's mental task will have free access to attend. Okay, so God bless you. Good afternoon. Well done. Well done.